Isn't Israel trying to wipe Gaza and the Palestinian people off the map? Not off the face of the earth, but off the map. He must mean the map of what they consider Greater Israel.
Well, as I think I said the last time I was on the show, it's very important to understand that when you look at the language that is being used by Israeli elites today, it is deeply disturbing. And Omer Bartov, who is an Israeli-born historian and a historian who studies the Holocaust, has said that Israel has genocidal intent in Gaza. You want to think about that. He is not saying that Israel is in the process of committing genocide, but based on the language and based on a lot of what is being seen on the battlefield inside of Gaza, he concludes that Israel has genocidal intent. And he, along with a large number of other scholars of the Holocaust, many of whom are Jewish or Israeli, have written a letter to the New York Review of Books that basically makes the same argument. So you want to understand that this is a potentially dangerous situation because the Israelis give evidence that they may spin out of control here. So again, my argument is not that the Israelis are committing genocide at this point in time. I don't think that's true. I think that there's no question that they've engaged in mass murder, but not genocide. And nevertheless, as Bartov says, there is genocidal intent here.
Here's President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa on this very topic yesterday.
The collective punishment of Palestinian civilians through the unlawful use of force by Israel is a war crime. The deliberate denial of medicine, fuel, food, and water to the residents of Gaza is tantamount to genocide.
Does he make the argument that is being made in the region, in the Middle East, by the non-Israelis?
Well, the word genocide is thrown around quite loosely these days by people. I think that he's right that Israel is committing war crimes, and I think that starving the population, the civilian population in Gaza, is clearly a war crime. I think indiscriminately bombing the population in Gaza is a war crime. There's no doubt about that. But I would not describe either one of those acts as genocide. I don't mean to split hairs here, but you have to have a clear definition of what genocide is. And for me, genocide is a policy that is designed to eliminate an entire population, to effectively kill an entire population.
Well, there are members of Prime Minister Netanyahu's cabinet who have called for that. I've never heard him call for it.
There's no question about that, that there are Israeli elites who have called for that. And that's why, again, Omer Bartov and other scholars of the Holocaust are worried about genocidal intent. But again, intent is different from actually committing genocide.
But in a world where international law is essentially unenforced or selectively enforced against those who manage to get caught, does it matter if we're talking about war crimes or genocide? We're talking about the slaughter of innocents, civilians.
Well, I think it does matter because I think genocide is a far worse crime than massacring civilians. I don't want to make light of massacring civilians, and it almost sounds like I'm doing that, but I don't want to make light of it. I don't want to make light of what the Israelis are doing in Gaza. I think it's absolutely horrible, but I don't think it's a genocide at this point in time. I think there is potential for genocide, and I think you have to be very careful here. And that's why I think that people who study the Holocaust, which was clearly a genocide, understand that we're out on the slippery slope here, or the Israelis are out on the slippery slope.
Right.
Of course, Joe Biden is backing them to the hilt. And this is why people are spray painting words like Genocide Joe outside the White House. And he should be aware of what's going on, and he should go to great lengths to make sure we don't slide down that slope.